Welcome to Crisis in Perception, where we examine the systems shaping our world, one book at a time. Today, we're diving into a book that helps us see racial hierarchy in a whole new light, not as a collection of beliefs, but as an actual operating system.
The book is James Baldwin's 1963 landmark, The Fire Next Time. And in it, Baldwin diagnoses a core American problem. This idea that racial identity isn't real, but a myth, carefully built to keep a system that's running on fear stable. You see, Baldwin argues that this system isn't just unjust, it's literally built on a collective refusal to see reality. He calls it a system of unreality. Basically, a shared fiction that lets the whole hierarchy work by just pretending it doesn't even exist.
Now this quote, this is the key to his entire system's insight. That sounds a little strange, right? Innocence as a crime? So to really get it, we need to unpack what exactly Baldwin means by innocence.
He suggests that in this system, innocence isn't about being blameless, not at all. Instead, it works as a powerful structural tool. Think of it like a piece of social machinery that's used to maintain the hierarchy without anyone having to admit it.
This is what he calls systemic innocence. It's this shared story, a protective narrative that lets the people who benefit from a destructive system completely deny that it even exists, and of course, their role in it. It's really a way of staying comfortable by avoiding the hard truths.
So Baldwin then points out several interlocking patterns that keep this whole engine of unreality running, and it's better to think of them not as a list, but more like feedback loops that are constantly reinforcing each other, which makes the system incredibly stable.
The first pattern, fear. The entire system is held steady by a really deep fear within the dominant group, a fear of what they might lose if the hierarchy was ever truly challenged. And for Baldwin, this isn't just about losing status. It's about losing their whole identity, which is built on this construct.
Okay, so if fear is the stabilizer, what's the incentive to play along? Well, the main reward is psychological. It's the prize of innocence. It gives you the ability to see yourself as a good person, totally separate from the damage the system causes, and that protects you from uncomfortable truths.
And this is the ultimate constraint. These identities, built on fear and maintained by innocence, they become a prison for everyone. They trap people in these historical roles they don't even really understand, making it almost impossible to escape or even to see the bars.
This whole structure, the fear, the reward, the constraint, it's all held together by one single, powerful metaphor that really helps us understand how denial can work on a national scale.
Baldwin's analysis shows us a national narrative that isn't designed to reflect truth, but to defend against it. The story the nation tells about itself becomes a kind of shield, a fortress of innocence that's built to repel the facts of its own history. It's a system designed from the ground up to perpetuate denial.
You know, once you grasp this framework, it really shifts your perception. Instead of just focusing on individual prejudices, you can start to see the invisible logic of the structure itself. You see the incentives, the constraints, and all the ways the story protects itself.
And all of this leads to Baldwin's final, really challenging question. It forces you to stop and think, what does liberation really mean if the system you want to join is itself built on a foundation of unreality and fear? It makes you question the whole goal and ask whether the house itself is even sound.
This project is free and publicly accessible. If you'd like to support the time, tools, and research behind Crisis in Perception, you can become a supporter on Patreon. For a longer audio-based analysis of this topic, see the deep dive linked in the description. And if you enjoy this kind of systems-level analysis, please like, subscribe, and comment with books or topics you'd like us to explore next.